Hey ladies and gentlemen, Richard Core Kenobi here, and I am back again for another movie review. And today we have Captain America Civil War. Apologies if I did not get this up yesterday. I was very exhausted and I just really needed to have a rest and sink all of this in. But this was a great movie. This was my favorite comic book film, mine and Mrs. Kenobi's. We both agreed that this was our favorite comic book film of the year. We loved it so much. Nothing could top this. And we loved it more than Batman v Superman, which, again, we both did like Batman v Superman. We just like this a little bit more. So please do not get offended by that. We are both comic book fans, not Marvel or DC. We just are comic book fans. But anyway, so yes. Now, this film has already made 600 million globally and has made 180 million domestically. It's now the fifth. It's now the fifth domestically highest opening of all time, right up there with the other two Avengers movies and Jurassic World and Star Wars. So yeah, that's crazy. But with all that said, let's talk about this film. Now, if you've read the Civil War comic, or if you've seen the trailers, then you know what this film is about. And all I can say is that this movie is just... It's a perfect film. It's so great. I mean, it's not... I'm not going to say it's a masterpiece, but I think it's a masterpiece in its own right. But let's talk about it. So the cast is perfect. Mainly Chris Evans and Robert Downey Jr. because again, seeing how far these two have come since they began in their own movies, like with Steve in the first Avenger and Tony in the first Iron Man movie, to see how far these two have come, it's crazy. And yeah, it's just really, really great. Apologies, folks. Sorry. Still a little tired. So anyway, and the rest of the supporting cast is great. Nobody feels shoehorned in. Nobody feels like they aren't given their time to shine. Everybody has their own ideas on why they're choosing Cap and Iron Man side. But mainly it's focused on Tony, well, mainly Cap's belief, because this is what I really wanted to see in Batman v Superman, because again, Batman v Superman don't just fight each other because they want to fight each other. They fight each other, they have fought each other because of their ideologies and how they're so different. And I loved how Captain America captured that. You know, it was really good. You could understand why both sides are fighting, and you can even understand and choose the team that you're representing. For me, it's Team Cap, and I understand. Me and my girlfriend were both Team Cap. We both wore the shirt, and we could understand why Captain America was fighting to oppose the Sokovia Act. So it was really good. I like how they do that. And this whole movie, even though it's 2 hours long, 2 hours and 26 minutes, it still takes its time to slowly build stuff up. And even though that may be troubling to some people because they really want to see the action, trust me, when you go back and watch this film, you're going to appreciate it and how much build up it got to the point. And, yeah, I loved it. The dialogue was great. The writing was amazingly. The Russo brothers do, again, a wonderful job directing. I don't know how they did it, but honestly, if they were to make another comic book film, they would just nail it because they get these characters. They get Captain America. You know, they get these guys. They get all of these guys and their characters, and they can make you relate and understand why they're fighting and why they don't like how they're fighting. So yeah, let's talk about the action scenes. The action scenes are probably the best I've ever seen in a Marvel film. Because, again, you know, like, whenever me and my girlfriend and everyone else watched an action scene, everyone in the theater could feel it. Because, again, we were in a packed auditorium, and everybody laughed, everybody clapped, everybody cried. Everybody was saying, "Oh my God, I can't believe that." We were in. That was probably the best theater experience I've ever had with other people, and I even made friends with some of the people, and we were all talking about why we chose the team. So it was great interacting with them. It was really good. I liked how this movie did that. And the action scenes were just well choreographed. Although you can spot some shaky cam, but overall, I think the biggest example of the action, of how great the action is the airport battle. Because that, like everyone else, it's my favorite. It's my favorite battle in not just superhero films, but in movies overall. Because again, the way it was shot, you think with all 12 heroes fighting each other that it would be a little cramped and you wouldn't be able to see what's going on. But no, you can. It's like a comic book panel come to life. You can see everybody fighting each other, and they don't just fight, one. They don't just fight one person. They mix it up. Like Captain America will fight somebody different other than Iron Man. I won't spoil it, but you'll see. So yeah, the action was the best, and I highly recommend you go see this movie, if for the action alone, but mainly the story. And speaking of the story, it really balances everything, because unlike Batman v Superman, and even I have to admit this, I sometimes felt that it was rushed. It was just trying to get the Justice League movie, but I still liked it. But this movie, it balances all of these characters, and it does it spectacularly. Kind of ironic when I'm about to talk about the next character. So yeah, let's talk about the 3 breakout stars of the film. First, Ant-Man. He was good. It was good to see him come back. Even though he was in the movie for a short time, he was perfect. He was funny. He stole the show, and it was good. And Black Panther. I am a huge Black Panther fan. I loved seeing Chadwick play him. He was good. His motivation was set up, and it gets you excited for his movie. But the main one is Spider-Man. Oh my God, Spider-Man. Tom Holland, who actually is my age, and he kind of looks like me a little bit, not too much. So Tom, if you're watching, good job, man. He really did. He captured, it's like because he said he pretty much did a combination of Toby and Andrew. And you could so see that. When you see this kid, you're going to see Peter Parker and Spider-Man. And he was just perfect. He is Spider-Man. There is no other one. And I can't wait for Spider-Man Homecoming next year. Really good, really good. And just overall, everything was great. Now let's talk about the villain. Now, even though Baron Zemo wasn't, because if you're going to ask, how was Zemo in this movie? Well, I won't say, if you remember Iron Man 3 with the Mandarin, it's kind of like that, but not in a bad way. It depends on how you look at it. For what he was pretty good. He got his job done. His plan made sense, and he was actually a pretty damn good villain. So I kind of liked him. I liked how, because he knew he couldn't challenge the Avengers physically. That's a no, just no. And he even admits that in the movie. This isn't a spoiler, but he even says it himself that he can't challenge the Avengers because other people higher than him have done that, and he's not one of them. So instead, he chooses to play them and separate them and force them to fight each other, to manipulate them and mess with their psychology. So I really like how he does that, and his motivation seems clear. And yeah, and really good stuff. Now let's talk about, I won't talk about the spoilers because even though it's impossible for me, it's impossible for most people, it's not impossible for me, but I will say for what the spoilers were, I loved them. I loved the end credits scene, mainly the end credits scene, because the post and end credits scene gets you excited for not only Black Panther, but Spider-Man. You'll see why. I won't say, but you'll see why. So, if you do go see this movie, stay after the end credits. Just really stay after. Sit throughout the whole movie. You'll love it. And yeah, just overall, everything was good. You know, I can't even begin to tell y'all how amazing this film was. Truly, I can't praise it enough. It's the best movie of the year for me, and that's saying a lot considering what we've gotten. So yeah, guys, overall, this was a great film. The Russo brothers have made us an epic trilogy, because the first one, it was a love letter to the 1940s and what the World War was like back then. And even though that film is my personal favorite out of the trilogy, but this one, but honestly now, this is the best Marvel trilogy we've ever had, because the Iron Man trilogy was okay. 2 and 3 weren't as good. Thor was decent, and the Avengers were pretty good, but Captain America seems to be the only one where his movies get better and better and better as they improve, and I like that. And overall, if you were to ask me what is my favorite Captain America movie out of the trilogy, I can't tell you that, because I have no favorite. All 3 of them are great, and they were just amazing. So yes, this is by far the best trilogy I've ever seen, and I'm so glad I went to go see my first, because me and my girlfriend have never seen a Captain America movie, which I know, and I was so glad we went to go see this one. It was perfect. I was smiling, I was laughing, I was crying, I was just having a great time, and overall, if I were to rate this movie, I would give it a solid 10 out of 10, and an A+. Truly, this movie is great. Truly, it's amazing, and honestly, the Russo brothers have made us a great damn film. So yes, guys, if you enjoyed this movie review, then please, by all means, like, comment, and subscribe, and please go see this movie. You guys are gonna have a great time. This is a great way to start off the summer, and honestly, this is a great way to end the Captain America trilogy. Really it is, and I cannot wait for the future of the MCU. And this movie has pretty much set the bar even higher, so future Marvel films are going to have to live up to this film, starting with Doctor Strange. So yes, overall guys, thank you all for watching, and until next time guys, this is Richard Cork, and I'll be saying, may the Force be with you. Later guys.